Guys, welcome back to my Chanel. Sorry y'all, my earrings be coming off sometimes, so I had to make sure they were like hooked on. I don't know. Welcome back to my Chanel, or if you are new, welcome to my Chanel. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new, check out the rest of the content, and if you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe. If you are not new to the channel, y'all, I'm letting you guys know right now, I apologize. I was not, you know, this consistent this month, but in the month of November I'm going to be dropping videos like crazy for y'all. I just needed a break. I know I keep talking about it, but I really feel bad because I feel like I kind of like been starving you guys out. I'm usually not like that, so I'm going to be dropping a lot of videos. So in order to get me back on the algorithm and get back started, like I said in my last video, give this video a thumbs up and also hype the video up so we could get it pushed back into the algorithm, because I have not been as consistent lately on the tube. So if you have been watching me but you're not subscribed, go ahead and check and make sure you're subscribed. We are going to be talking about the female rap industry and why it's beginning to have a big decline and a big flop. Okay, before we get into this video, I feel like the hip-hop/rap industry has been having a decline as of lately as a whole. The male rap industry is not that good anymore. I remember before COVID, even a little bit after COVID, we were getting hit with a whole bunch of new artists, and I was happy because I was like, yeah, like, you know, the Futures, the Migos, you know, that type of era had a, you know, a decline. Of course, Future and them still make music, but you know, those are like the guys from the older generation of the rap industry. You could tell that like they're beginning to get older, and we were introduced to guys like, I'm not gonna say Lil Durk because Lil Durk has been around for a while, but when we were introduced to guys like Lil Baby, Rilo and stuff like that, and all these other up-and-coming artists, when we were introduced to them, I don't know about you guys, but I really thought that they were going to take over the industry. And it's actually crazy because I don't hear about none of them. Even, let's keep it a buck, I'm not gonna say anything about Bossman D-Lo because he's probably in the booth making music right now, because Bossman D-Lo has had a good run so far. But a lot of these artists come in so hot, on fire, and then they just decline and they die down. But we are not talking about the men today. But before I get into it, I feel like as a whole, as of lately, the rap industry is dying down. The male rap industry, to be precise. And as I noticed throughout the years, as the male rap industry is dying down, I begin to see an incline in the female rap industry. And there might be some type of speculations, because some people might say that it's because a lot of labels trying to go up against Nicki Minaj, because for years Nicki Minaj was one of the only female rap artists that was able to actually do it in the generation and actually compete with the men and the women, and there wasn't really much competition for her. So for a long time, a lot of people who are not really too, you know, fond of Nicki Minaj in the industry, they've kind of come up with this concept of Nicki Minaj is not as good as y'all think she is. She just does not have any competition. Because if you really look back into the times where Nicki was really rapping and stuff like that back when we were younger, it wasn't really nobody getting in the booth with Nicki like that was rapping that was on her level or anything like that. But nowadays, when you guys look at females of this industry, there's so many different female rap artists nowadays. Some might speculate that to call them a rap artist is an insult, but we have to call them what they say they are and what type of music they produce. Speculated this specific video was Megan's new song called Lover Girl. About a couple of months ago, Megan's song, the little snippet of Lover Girl, kind of leaked on TikTok. She started off with my man, my man, my man, my man, my man, my baby, thinking me dad, driving me crazy. The snippet was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, okay, this is nice. I like this. Like, what is this? I did not know that this was like an unreleased song. So I was like, okay, this is nice. Even though I heard that little snippet, I don't know about you guys, but Megan Thee Stallion, I've been a stan of Megan Thee Stallion since like 2016, 2017, before she became a mainstream artist. I don't feel like we're dealing with that Megan anymore. I know that Megan has two alter egos. She has Tina Snow, and then she has regular Megan, but I feel like we never really get to see Tina Snow as much anymore ever since she got signed onto her label. So I'm not really as excited for Megan's music nowadays when it drops, so I don't know when it drops and all that type of stuff, right? But nonetheless, Lover Girl ended up dropping. And I heard so many people, well, as a matter of fact, this is what happened. Before I seen people's reviews on the song, I seen her drop her music video on Instagram. And of course, we all know Megan Thee Stallion's body is banging. So I was like, oh my God, like her body is tea. Let me go watch this music video. Like, let me go see what's going on. Watch that music video, y'all. And I was overstimulated. That was like the best way to describe it. Like, it was just so like, Like, it was just so weird. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It was just so weird. And I feel like for once in my life, I decided to realize that I am kind of growing up, and I am kind of like elevating out of this type of hoochie, you know, hoochie baby mama type of rap music. Like, I kind of peeped that I was over it with Sexy Red, because there was a point in time where I used to listen to Sexy Red when she first came out. Then after a while, I just could not blast her music anymore. I don't know what it was, but like, I don't know, hearing My Pussy Is Pink and all this stuff so many times, it just started getting very like repetitive and very like just counterproductive. And so I can't even listen to Sexy Red anymore. But I always felt like I could still listen to Megan, because a lot of the times people say that Megan don't switch up her flow, but Megan do talk about different stuff in different songs. Like, Megan has dedicated an album to talking about her mental health and stuff like that. She has dedicated an album or a song to talking about her trauma. She has dedicated an album in her songs to talking about making it in life. She has made so many types of different songs. So there's times where I could listen to Megan. Like, for instance, when she dropped Bigger in Texas, I had that shit on rotation, like on lock, when I was in the gym, when I was in the car, especially when I was in the gym, because that song, to me, I don't know about y'all, but Bigger in Texas gave me like motivation vibes. Like, you know, like, I'm at the top of my game, I'm who the hey, you know, like, it's just like a motivation talk. I'm like pumping my, like, you know, lifting my weights, right? When I first seen her body, I'm so used to Megan popping her body and stuff like that, and, you know, shaking her ass and everything. That's something I'm used to. So when I first seen it on Instagram, I'm like, okay, yeah, let me go watch. Y'all, when I seen the music video, I kind of got like overstimulated. And not only did I get overstimulated, I kind of got tired of seeing her shake her ass. Like, I'm not gonna lie. And it's actually crazy. I know for a given fact that my frontal lobe, when it comes to the music industry, has fully developed, because this is before I seen any of the reviews about what she was doing in her music video. There was a point in time where she was on her knees shaking her butt, and then she started like tiptoeing her hands up her like thighs and stuff. And I was just like, I mean, like, we know you can shake your ass. Like, we know you can shake your ass. We know you have body, but you remix this kissing song from the 90s, and this is just not what I thought I would see. I thought I would get some type of like Y2K old school version, her laying in the bed, feet kicked up in the air, the bed spinning, she's on the phone. Like, you remember how Summer Walker was like, had that album cover where she was on the phone and stuff, and like, I thought I was gonna get like so much of like a R&B / hip hop type of vibe, and it just was so derogatory. Like, she just started saying, pop that pussy for your man, pop that pussy. It just was so like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, like type of vibes. And I was just like, I legit was like, ugh. And then there was a point in time in the music video that I thought the song was over, and I was getting ready to click off, and then she hit another verse, and I'm like, oh Lord. So then I decided to sit and stay and listen to that verse, and y'all, that shit was ass. Like, that shit was complete ass. Like, I didn't even know what to, I don't know, like, I just did not know what to say about it. Like, I was just like, okay, like, it's just not making sense. Shortly after, I get on TikTok about a day later, and I see everybody bashing that song. Like, when I tell you everybody, it's usually the men who talk a lot of mess about the you know, the era that we're in with female rap. But when I tell you, I see more women than men. I was like, oh my God. So I was not the only person that was thinking this. And then I start to think, we have been low-key complaining about this for a while now, especially with Megan. Like, we've been complaining about this for a while with Megan. Like, we want Tina Snow back. We know you have a nice ass body. We know you have a fat ass and a small ass waist. We know this. We know you can shake your butt, but we want Tina Snow back. And it's not that Megan can't rap. That's the funny thing. It's not that Megan Thee Stallion can't rap. I'm starting to think that the label is purposely keeping her in this era and not taking her out of it. When I heard that song, I thought I would, like I said before, was gonna get like a Lover Girl type of vibe, like old school Lover Girl type of vibe. But I got a Hot Girl Summer song slapped on with a version called Lover Girl. Just gave like different versions of her standing around and shaking her butt and stuff like that. It started this whole discourse about the trajectory of female rap and how it's going in such a horrible generation. And a lot of conversations started to open up about how sexuality sexuality has been so normalized in this generation that a lot of these people feel like this is what we want 24/7. This is the type of music that we want 24/7. Honestly speaking, you cannot blame people like Megan Thee Stallion and them, because this generation is so freaking lustful, and the purpose of selling music is to sell what you think that the generation that you are selling to will like. And this generation is lustful as hell. Everybody's always talking about sex. Women are always dressing half naked, and I'm as the woman, I'm talking about myself too. You know, a lot of the times showing less skin is the trend. It's been so many times where I have gone out in public and have seen bare ass cheeks out with a small ass skirt that doesn't cover anything. And in my honest opinion, I feel like one of the only times that your ass cheeks should be out is during Halloween, if you're going to like a X-rated party or nothing like that. But just for a regular day at the club or a hookah lounge and stuff, your whole bare ass, I'm talking about whole ass out, skirt small as hell, literally only go around their waist, titties out. A lot of these, we're not even going to talk about women too, because a lot of these men are just sleeping around with anybody, useless in women left and right. A lot of these men do not want to date properly. They just want to get their rocks off and keep it pushing. So this generation is very sexual. A lot of people are sleeping with each other. The STDs are on an uprise. Like, this is a very, 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 very sexual generation. So the bad part about this whole situation with people talking about Megan Thee Stallion and how she's not switching up her flow, how we are, as a whole, are tired of hearing about this hoochie type of music, is if you guys claim that y'all are tired of hearing about this type of music, we as a generation have to be tired of displaying what this woman is talking about in this type of music. It was a whole discourse about it, and I totally agree. Like, I'm so freaking tired of hearing about my coochie, what color y'all's coochies are, and who got the best coochie in the world. Like, I just so tired. And honestly speaking, I really thought that Megan was gonna be in her like healed girl era, especially considering the fact that she's dating Klay Thompson now. I'm thinking that we're about to get some like healed girl era, like her talking a little bit of her about her and Klay's relationship and how he treats her like a princess. Like, I'm thinking I'm about to get that. I had no idea that this girl was gonna tell us to pop our kitty cats for our man, as if that's not what this generation does on a daily basis for niggas that are not their men. Like, I just, that was not on my bingo cards when I clicked the video. It just wasn't. And Megan has to understand, and it's not just Megan, but Megan has to understand that she has to get out of that era of trying to upsell her body so badly. She's becoming way too lazy. I feel like Megan knows that we look at her because she has a nice body, and I feel like she over-sexualizes and overuses her body to make a point, and the point is not being made. So there were so many discourses about it, and it wasn't just Megan. People were tired as a whole. I've seen a lot of creators bring up Sexy Red and said that they are so happy, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, Sexy Red hasn't really been making a lot of music this year, and honestly speaking, I am happy. Like, I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear it's sexy. Like, I'm over it. I don't want to hear it. I want to get back to real rap. Like, okay, look, ain't nothing wrong with hoochie music, because that's how we were introduced to Megan. Well, not me. I knew Megan before the hoochie, but Megan's song that basically took her off the charts was Big Ol' Freak. You know what I mean? So we're not going to sit here and act like that's not who Megan introduced us to from the very beginning. Nothing is wrong with that, but it gets to a point in time where you have to elevate throughout the journey of your music and throughout the journey of your career. And I feel like Megan has like hit the pinnacles and then just stayed there and even gone to decline. Because my thing is this, even like, let's just scratch the whole conversation about music being too sexualized. Let's just scratch that off the books, right? Even within Megan's music, that specific song being so sexualized, the lyrics were terrible. Like, they didn't even make sense. Like, the pop that coochie for your man was so like remedial, and it just was not something I expected from someone like Megan Thee Stallion. I'm just being honest. And so then I start to really think, like, what is going on that she felt like she could drop something like that and that the public was going to receive it so well? Because it was even some of her stans, like her people that support her, that was like, nah, like, Megan, we love you, but this ain't it. And what made me start to really realize it was how much she sexualized her body in that music video, and how she kept dropping different snippets of the music video, which is, she's supposed to do that. You're supposed to promote your song. But I feel like Megan is beginning to try so hard to rely on her body to carry her music, and that's just not how it's gonna work. You need to get in the boot. Like, we expect so much of you, Megan. Like, if Sexy came and did the bullshit Megan did, people will be complaining and stuff and calling it ghetto, but it would not be of no type of, like, nobody will be talking about Sexy Red's rap skills, because when it comes to rap, nobody thinks of Sexy Red as a rap artist. Let's keep it a buck. We mostly think of Sexy Red as some ghetto ass girl that is loud as hell, that likes talking about her coochie, and some of her lyrics be rhyming. That's how I think of Sexy Red. But Megan, you call yourself a lyricist, and that's the thing. And you went up against people like Nicki Minaj. Like, you put yourself up against her when you decided to pick a side with Cardi. You up against people like Nicki Minaj. You're being compared to people like Nicki Minaj, but you're not even giving us anything. And the thing is, we know you can give it to us. It's not like we don't think you're a good artist. We know you're a good artist, but you're becoming way too lazy, and you're using your body to sell your music, and that's just not how it's gonna work, because we as a generation are tired. Men and women, we as a generation are tired of you guys sexualizing your body. After the whole discourse happened, Megan took to her live and said this.
Okay, so I'm finna give y'all exactly what y'all been looking for. The people who've been talking a little crazy, I see y'all. I see the crazy people, okay? I see the crazy people that's rappers. I see the crazy people that's bloggers. I see the crazy people that's fans. I see the crazy people that's naughties. Y'all is finna get exactly what y'all been looking for. But baby, I'm in love right now. We're supposed to be celebrating love and light. Damn, pop that pussy for your man. Damn, bitch, a bitch can't have a pop that pussy for her man feeling.
He basically said that a lot of people are being paid to give her bad reviews. But babe, what about the people who literally start off their videos saying, I am a Megan Thee Stallion fan and I did not like this song? What do you have to say for those people? Because babe, I didn't get paid to do shit. Well, shit, I'm gonna get paid for this. But prior to this, I didn't get paid to say that I don't like that song, and that song was ass. And I love you. I'm from Houston, so why wouldn't I, you know, support Megan Thee Stallion? I watched her come up before everybody knew about her, so why wouldn't I support her? She went to my college, so why wouldn't I support her? But at the same time, I'm not gonna support stupidity. And honestly speaking, I don't like when somebody gets constructive criticism and feedback from what they're doing, and then they go ahead and whatchamacallit, they start like twisting the narrative, talking about that people are hating on them and this and that and da da da. Here's what I'm going to do to play devil's advocate, because if we are talking about as a collective, as a whole, that we are wholeheartedly tired of hearing the hoochie rap type of era, the hoochie rap songs and stuff like that, the baby mama, pussy pink, booty hole brown type of era. If we as a whole are going to say that we are tired of that, then we are going to have to look within ourselves and wonder why we don't listen to other songs that they drop. And I'm not just talking about Megan, because I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Georgia Peach by Lotto was a classic. Like, that was a classic, and whatchamacallit, I just feel like we didn't really let that sink in. Like, we didn't really let Lotto's album sink in. And I feel like the problem is people are trying so hard to compare other artists in the industry to Nicki Minaj. I just wish we could stop, because I'm coming to realize there will never be another Nicki Minaj at all. Like, there will never be another Nicki Minaj, and that's fine, and nothing's wrong with that. But from this generation and from Lotto when she dropped Georgia Peach, Lotto should have definitely got way more recognition for that. I'm talking about damn near every song on that album slapped. I damn near listened to that album for months. I ran that album down to the ground. And I heard people talk about, the album here and there and say that it was good and stuff like that. But I didn't really see people actually bask in that album and actually sit in that album. And it's actually crazy, because I listened to some of the songs from that album the other day, and I actually liked it. It's not like I was tired of it, or I was like, oh, this song is old, this and that. So when you look into Lotto's album and you realize, because a lot of people received that album well. So when you look into her album and you realize, why do people receive Georgia Peach so well? because Lotto told a story. She told a story of what it's like living in Atlanta. She talked about her man. She even though Lotto talked about her man, it wasn't so overly sexualized. For instance, a song called Blixum. It was about her holding her man's Glock because she loved him so much. You know what I mean? And then there were so many different trends that came out and stuff. And I'm not trying to compare an album to a single, but I'm just trying to paint a picture for you guys. If you guys want these artists to start talking about stuff of more substance, you guys have to give them their recognition when they do. Because a lot of the times when Megan makes music about her trauma or her mental health, her depression, and all these different things, it's not received well. We have too many people looking at the music video saying, oh my God, that's demonic. That's demonic. And I'm not counteracting that. I'm not going to get into the religious politics and stuff like that. That's not really why we're here. But I'm just saying, when you guys say that y'all want more from someone and that person gives y'all what y'all want, you guys don't receive it well. Because another thing is, let's not even talk about Lotto. Let's go back to Megan Thee Stallion. Bigger in Texas should have lasted way longer than it lasted. Like, Bigger in Texas should have skyrocketed way further than what it was supposed to. That was a classic. Like, she painted a picture for us about how she's been able to elevate, survive throughout all the controversy she's been through, throughout all the BS that she's been through. She's been able to elevate and survive it and actually be successful in the element of doing so. Yeah, it just was not received as well as I think that Bigger in Texas should have been received. Another thing is, if we are going to weed out celebrities, up and coming celebrities who are always talking about sex and who are always, you know, singing about sex, and we need to make room for the entertainers that are singing about different things. Doja Cat. I know Doja Cat is very popular, but in the Black community, Doja Cat is not as popular, and I understand why. They have had some speculations of Doja Cat, you know, hanging around people who are racist and stuff, and I'm not specifically telling you guys to go listen to Doja Cat, but I am saying there are artists out there who are actually talking about something of substance, who are actually rapping and singing about something of substance, and they are not as pushed out as you guys are trying to push out these other artists. Also, someone like Mona Leo, there is no reason why Mona Leo should be not mainstream. Mona Leo should be on the same level as as the same level as Megan Thee Stallion, Glorilla, and them, but she's not. And when you listen to Mona Leo's music, it's not sexualized. It's not talking about her vagina. It's not talking about how pink her shit is and all this extra ass shit. She's talking about stuff of substance. She's like making music that, you know, trends on TikTok and makes us laugh and stuff like that. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you guys can't sit around and say that you're so tired of, you know, hoochie, ghetto, coochie, trap music and stuff like that. But when these other artists come and try to make their print and try to put their print in the industry, we don't give them a chance. Another artist that I can definitely mention that I feel like should be mainstream is Ken the Man. One of my friends, actually, as a matter of fact, Laura used to listen to Ken the Man a lot when we were in college, and I did not know she was that good until I was around Laura and she used to listen to her a lot. She raps the stuff of substance as well, and there's many underground artists that I don't even know about that you guys could drop in the comments section down below. They're very good, and they don't rap about sex. They don't talk about their private parts and stuff like that, but they don't get the same recognition that you guys give the people that do it. And so my thing is this, just to basically drive my point in, you guys cannot sit around and say that you are tired of something that you started. How Megan got famous was for talking about her pussy, and it was received so freaking well. Her and Cardi B made WAP. That shit did numbers. It was so controversial. So many people were talking about how they hated it. And then on the same token, we had a whole nother side of women talking about how sexually liberated they were. And I'm not gonna lie, I was one of them. I wasn't really saying they were sexually liberated, but I said I liked the song because, let's be real, like, the song was good. It was catchy, the beat, the everything. It was a good song despite what they were talking about. It was a good song. And also, my thing is, I didn't really care to politic about that because this is not the first time that female artists have talked about their vagina. Doing it since the 90s, the 80s, it just has gone more raunchier, you know, as the years have gone by. So I didn't really have much to say because, in my honest opinion, how I seen it was, you know, we've been doing that. Like, artists have been talking about their coochie and stuff like that and how wet they shit was. Even Nicki Minaj has been talking about that. But one thing that we could give Nicki Minaj is that she's versatile. Well, we were younger, and cause see, I grew up off of Nicki. I'm 28, so I grew up on Nicki Minaj. You feel me? When we were younger, and Nicki used to be announced that she was about to drop her album or a single or whatever, we were excited. I remember when I was a kid and I would hear like, oh, Nicki's gonna drop such and such on the radio before the radio stopped playing her music. She started arguing with people in the industry. I used to think to myself like, oh my God, like I wonder like who am I getting? Like am I getting Nicki Minaj, Nicki the Harajuka Bobby? Am I getting Onika? Like who am I getting today? Like which alter ego am I getting? Because when I tell you, Nicki has so many different personalities and she played into every single one of them. It was never just a one type of dimensional type of mood. And I used to be excited for those singles and those albums because I used to know that I was going to get something different. When I would click on some of the songs, she's singing, she, you know, even though she hates super bass. Super bass is what made her, because it put her in a little girly element, like I'm just a girl type of vibe, a crush and I'm in love and stuff. And that's kind of like what I expected from Megan's song Lover Girl. And you know, it just was weird to see her, you know, have the same like rap fast on that beat like that, have the same type of flow and talk about the same stuff. It just was weird to see it, because I was thinking like, you know, you're elevating. You're supposed to be elevating your music. And that's the reason why Nicki's name get brought up so much within the rap industry, because we are trying so hard to find another Nicki, or to find somebody that can be at the same playing field of Nicki, and we're not doing so. We're not doing so because a lot of these rap artists are just trying so hard to sell sex. Look at someone like Glorilla. I don't know if you guys had peeped. Glorilla has had a little bit of a decline over the year, and I honestly feel like the reason why Glorilla is having a little bit of a decline over the year is because she copied Megan Thee Stallion. I don't know if you guys have noticed that before Glorilla started going on tour with Megan Thee Stallion, she had her own identity, had a very tomboyish, you know, I'm from Memphis, country type of vibe to her. And it's like as soon as she started going on tour with Megan Thee Stallion, her vibe, her everything, her identity completely started morphing into Megan's vibe, Megan's identity. Now she's on stage during her tours when she goes by herself now, and she's bringing men onto the stage and giving them lap dances and stuff like that, and it just does not look right. It looks so freaking cringy and it looks very unpleasant, and my mind starts to wonder, how come she doesn't have no sexual energy but she's steady doing this? But when she first came into the industry, she wasn't doing that. Why is she doing that? Because of Megan, and because Megan taught her to, you know, get into her sexual being. And ain't nothing wrong with that, because I do kind of feel like Megan has opened up a little bit of Glorilla's feminine energy that she probably didn't know she had. But within the same token, Glorilla's beginning to miss the mark. I feel like she's starting to make more like hoochie music a little bit more now. She's altering, you know, her face. She's now getting in the gym. She wants a big butt. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but she's being somebody that she knows she's not. And a lot of people have been talking about it. A lot of people have been mad about it. They feel like, you know, she copied Megan. She used Megan and then she dumped her, because I don't know if you guys know this, but Glorilla posted something in her story that had a Tory Lanez song attached to it, and she didn't take it off. So it started a lot of controversy of why she would do what she did. And she came out saying that she did not realize that that song had that until afterwards, which I think is a bold-faced lie. But nonetheless, she did that, and a lot of people started speculating that she was hating on Megan Thee Stallion on the low. And also, Glorilla has just recently opened up for one of Chris Brown's concerts. There was a concert with Chris Brown, and she opened up for him. And Chris Brown has been very vocal on his stance of the Tory Lanez and the Megan situation. So you could definitely tell that, in my honest opinion, Glorilla used her for what she can use her for, which was driving a whole bunch of sexual and feminine energy out of her. Because throughout the whole years, a lot of people have been making fun of the fact that Glorilla is not as sexual and she's not as feminine and she's very hood, and a lot of people, you know, make fun of her looks and stuff like that. So I definitely feel like she wanted to tap more into her feminine energy. And that, like I said before, nothing is wrong with that. She's still a girl. But how we got introduced to you was from you being a hood country bitch. Let's keep it a buck. A hood country rap girl that came from Memphis. That's how we were introduced to you. It's like, I don't feel like I'm getting that no more with her. You know what I mean? And I feel like there's gonna be a big decline if she decides to take the Megan route and starts making hoochie music and stuff like that. There's gonna be a huge decline in her songs. I said, to play devil's advocate, you have to stop making fun of people for their identity. You guys tore apart Glorilla when she first came into this industry. We're making fun of her looks. She went and switched her looks around, and y'all started messing with her because she touched touched her face and she touched her body. Y'all started bullying her for that. You guys made fun of the fact that she had no sexual energy, that she was not like whatchamacallit, sexually, like she was not sexually appeasing. You guys made fun of that for the longest. She started going on tour with Megan and copying Megan's move and stuff like that. You guys made fun of the fact that she didn't have no ass. She started getting in the gym, that people had speculations of her going to get a little small BBL surgery. People started making speculations of her copying Megan, which I do think that that's what she did. But within that conversation, I seen a lot of people saying, you will never be feminine, you will always be this, you will always be that, and picking at her. So it's like, you guys cannot get mad at stuff you guys start, because a lot of these up and coming artists that are coming into this industry or want to be in this industry are looking at the numbers and looking at the way a lot of you guys receive their music, and looking at and telling themselves, okay, they don't like it when these people rap about this. They don't really pay that much attention to it. It doesn't drive the sales through the roof, because nonetheless, regardless of what people are saying about Megan's song, people are talking. Talking equates to money and revenue, you know what I mean? So they look at those type of things and they think to themselves, these artists are making money when they do A, B, C, D. So that's the route that I'm gonna take. You guys receive it well, and then after a while, y'all shut it down. If you guys don't want to continue to hear about coochie and all this extra stuff in these songs, then we have to shut everything down as a whole. Like, we have to shut everything down as a whole. And when these same artists come out with other songs, we have to receive it well, and we have to critique just as much as we're gonna critique this. We have to critique these other songs and stuff like that, instead of, you know, turning it into a numbers game and who went up against who, and, you know, nobody can never be Nicki Minaj. And we're putting these girls to a high ass standard that they themselves know they would never be there. These girls are not dumb. They know none of these girls know that they are better than Nicki Minaj. They're not freaking dumb. So I feel like we need to get to a point where we stop comparing numbers and comparing artists to each other, and actually just let the girls rap what they want to rap. And also, these labels need to give these girls free will to rap about what they want to rap about. And another thing is this, before I go, a lot of these girls that are rapping about their vaginas and their private parts and start, that shit really took a turn when the City Girls came out. And a lot of the times, when you really look at the background of the City Girls did not make a lot of their derogatory songs. They did not make it. Lil Yachty wrote that. So another thing is, a lot of these girls have ghostwriters, believe it or not, and a lot of these ghostwriters are men. So that's the reason why whenever I hear men talking about this topic about female rap being so, you know, nasty and derogatory, I kind of side-eye them, because for years men have been talking about effing the vagina and, you know, threesomes and sleeping with her friend and, you know, kicking a bitch out and suck my dick and all this extra stuff in their song, and nobody ever sits down to talk about how it as a whole is ruining our generation. People don't talk about the men and how they talk about women in their songs, and how they've been talking about women in our songs for the longest. We never had these type of conversations and stuff like that. But whenever women do it, we have this, oh, I'm tired of this hoochie rap, this and that. A lot of the times, y'all, believe it or not, that's just men reheating the nachos, i.e. that is men making these songs. A lot of these girls have ghostwriters. A lot of these ghostwriters are not women, they are men. And these men are rapping about what they think that we will like, because that's what they rap about in their songs, just the boy version. And it's never received with any type of backlash. So if we as a whole want this generation to actually start rapping about more substance and start dropping more songs of substance, then we as a whole need to go back to the drawing board, or not just the woman's side, but the man's side as well. And also talk about how the men have gotten away with derogatory music and derogatory sayings towards women for years, decades, and nobody has batted an eye or said anything about it. When the women do it, it's a problem, and that's why a lot of women talk about sexual liberation. That is the reason why women talk about sexual liberation, because if we're gonna talk about one, we need to talk about all. That's it, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm telling y'all, I never come with notes. I never come with notes for these type of videos. I just turn on the camera and I just, yeah. It's only sometimes that I come with notes. So, yeah. I love you guys so much. And, you know, y'all drop y'all's, you know, thoughts and y'all's opinions. Y'all let me know. How did y'all like that album? I mean, not that album, that single. How did y'all like it? Did y'all like it? Did y'all, how did y'all feel about that? Because that shit to me was a little off-putting. Like, I was just like, you know, I was just like, Also, let me know how y'all feel about what I said. Do you guys agree? Do y'all not agree? And if you don't, let me know. I love you guys so much. Like I said, I'm going to be posting more, so y'all stay on the lookout, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye, y'all.